For today's math lesson, you will need your big math book and your small math book. Remember, you can pause this video at any time if you need to rewind it, if you miss something, or if you need to get your materials. So this is page 393. I ripped it out, but you don't have to. So this is from your big math book. Today we're going to be talking about different types of quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is just a word meaning a shape that has four sides. The word quad means four. So if you think about like a square, a rectangle, those are all quadrilaterals, and we'll be talking about those today. So there's 5 that we're going to be looking at. The first one is a trapezoid, and I've highlighted something on here. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. So you'll see like this top line and this bottom line that I've highlighted are parallel to each other. Trapezoid only has one pair of parallel lines. So it's the top and the bottom, but remember, you can always change your shape. So if I turn it, the sides are parallel, but it's still a trapezoid because there's only one pair of parallel lines. Look at the next one. It's called a parallelogram. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides and 2 pairs of sides that are equal length. So the top now and the bottom are parallel to each other, and the sides are parallel to each other. Remember, we talked about parallel lines. They always go opposite. They're about the same distance apart from each other. They never cross. So the top and bottom are parallel, and then the sides. Another feature about a parallelogram are it has 2 pairs of sides that are equal length. So the top here, let me try to get it here. The top here is the same length as the bottom. So if I were to measure it with a ruler, it would be the same. Same as these 2 sides here. And you'll see these little blue markings. Those are telling you that the sides are the same length. So this one on these sides have 1 mark. That's because these 2 are the same length. And then the top and bottom have the 2 blue markings. Those are the same length. So it's a parallelogram. The next one is a rhombus. So a rhombus has 2 pairs of parallel sides, so similar to a parallelogram. But this part's different because all 4 sides are the same length. So in a parallelogram, it's saying that the opposite 2 are the same, but in a rhombus, all 4 are the same. Okay, the next one, moving on here, is a rectangle. Now, the next 2 are going to be pretty familiar to you because they're rectangles and squares, and you know what those are. But listen to what the descriptions are. So a rectangle has 2 pair of parallel sides. So again, those blue markings that are here show you that these 2 are parallel to each other. These 2 are parallel, and the markings show the length. So this is the same length as the one down here. These 2 are the same length. So the second thing says 2 pair of sides are the same length. And another feature about a rectangle, it says 4 right angles. So the corners here, remember, this gives you a clue, these squares in the corner, that those are right angles. So that would be a rectangle. The next one is a square. 2 pairs of parallel sides, so same as a rectangle. 4 sides of equal length. So now this is why it's a little bit different, because all 4 sides are the same length, and it has 4 right angles similar to a rectangle. Now, some of these can be more than one thing. Like, for example, they're all quadrilaterals. So like this is a quadrilateral and a square. This is a quadrilateral and a rectangle. But others can be more than 2 things even. Like if I look at a rectangle, so a rectangle it's a rectangle, it's a quadrilateral, and it can be classified as a parallelogram because look at what a parallelogram says. Does a rectangle have 2 pair of parallel sides? Yep. Does it have 2 pair of sides equal length? Yep. So it can also be other things. So when you're going to be completing assignment, you're going to be looking at different features to decide which quadrilateral each of these are. So now what I want you to do, you're going to keep this aside because you might want to use these pictures to help you. But then I want you to open up to page 195. This is from your small math book. So remember, you can pause this at any time if you don't have that with you. or if you need to watch and review the things that I just talked about. But leave this out so that when you're working on this, you have both of these side by side, and you can use these pictures here to help you with this. So the directions, so I'm at the top here. Follow along as I read. It says classify each figure as many ways as possible. So like I said before, they're going to be more than just one thing. Write quadrilateral, trapezoid, parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, or square. You can always go back in the video and rewatch those if you don't remember what they are. The first example is done for you. So it says, this is the picture that it gives you. Now my best advice is to hold it next to it and see which one looks the most similar to this. Now we talked about that each one is going to be a quadrilateral. So if you want, you can go through, if they have 4 sides, it's automatically a quadrilateral. So you can go through and just write that for the top line. Each one has 3 lines, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be 3 different types. Just so you know, it's just the same for each one. And then also, if you look at this, it's a parallelogram because it has 2 sides opposite that are parallel to each other. It's a rhombus because, again, 2 sides that are parallel, but they're also the same length. That's what these little marks are for. So those are the same length. So this is 3 different things. Now I want you to look at number 2. Now we talked about it's already a quadrilateral. Look at the book, the big math book that we just talked about. What other shape does that look like? It's a rectangle. There's one more. It's also a parallelogram because the opposite sides are parallel. These 2 are the same length. These 2 are the same length. So you do see how each shape can be more than one thing. So 2 is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. It's a rectangle. It has those 4 corners. It has parallel lines. And it's a parallelogram. So for 2 through 7, now we already did 2 together, you are going to be writing any that you think are the same. You're also going to do 8 and 9. So number 8 says, Alan drew a polygon. A polygon is just another name for a shape with 4 sides and 4 angles. All 4 sides are equal. None of the angles are right angles. Which figure did Alan draw? If you want, you can draw it down here to help you. So think about what clues they gave you in there. Number 9 says, Teresa drew a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 right angles. What quadrilateral could she have drawn? So you're doing that too. You're also going to do 1 and 2 on the back. You don't have to do this bottom part, but I want you to read it. It's describing a shape, so one of those quadrilaterals we talked about, and you're choosing the best response. Remember, you can complete this and have your parents take a picture of it and send it to me on Dojo, or you can just respond to my email. Thank you.